Hello, beloved. I thank you so much for your time and I thank you for joining me on the Prophetic Vessel Show. This will be your message from God, Ra, Allah, Source, the Divine. I'm grateful for your time. To those whom are keen or interested in becoming members of my Patreon, on my Patreon, I do offer weekly sign readings based on love as well as ancestral lineage readings. I also now offer on my Patreon personal readings for $50 per month. You get a personal reading from me every month based on love, spiritual path, career, and finances, as well as ancestral messages. I also offer one-on-one sessions slash life coach sessions. Those will be once off and not monthly. You can only book me for those directly via my email, which will be listed in my description box below, as well as the link to my Patreon if you'd rather join my Patreon instead. You can also join my Patreon by typing what is on the screen via Google, search it, and it'll lead you to my Patreon website. Without further ado, let us tap in and find out why we're spiritually led here. What is here for you, beloved? Why did you resonate with the title? And why did your own YouTube algorithm present you with this message? Let us tap in and talk to God, okay? There's a spiritual hater in the midst around your energy. This is someone who hates, words like awakening, enlightenment, illumination, crystals, crystal balls. This is someone that hates, when people talk about the water, the earth, the fire, the air. This is someone that hates when conversations of spirituality are conversed about. They hate hearing it. They hate it. They just hate it. And it's because someone here has a deep secret they now have to live with. One which has to do with their spirituality. This is definitely a spiritual hater, okay? This is someone who once upon a time loved spirituality. I'm channeling a deep love that crashed and burned because this person partook in the darkness of spirituality and ended up being consumed and swallowed by that darkness. And now they're living in their karma. And that's why now they have this supposed hate. It's just they're in their karma. Yeah, this person thought they were a high priestess. They thought they knew, they were intuitive, they were in alignment, they were universally in tune, in sync, and tapped in. This is someone who oftentimes identified themselves to be very spiritually powerful, right? But they only found power in the darkness of spirituality. They thought that's where the real, true, ultimate power of spirituality is. It's in the darkness. And this person walked that path until it caught up to them. King of Swords reversed. Now they have to pay for their sins. Now they have to cleanse that darkness. Now they have to face their demons. And it's a hard journey. But they're on this journey. It's not a choice. They have to do what they have to do. We have the hangman. This person's life is going to be filled with karma for a very long time. The same time spent in the darkness is the same time they have to live with cleansing that same darkness. It will follow them until they've cleansed it. They're in purgatory right now. They're in their hell. Hence, they're burning. This is someone who every day is so hard to just get by. Everything about life just makes them want to take their own life. they're so dark because their darkness has returned to haunt them. They've always been dark. Now that same darkness is swallowing them. They can't continue to have the same relationship with that darkness. It's different now. Everything is. Let's tap in further to the energy. My sacred chakra is being it's like there's a frequency I'm channeling. It's like I can feel it, right? This person surrendered their sacred chakra energy. This is a person who their form of darkness within spirituality stemmed from sex magic. They tapped into that and gave themselves to it. Hence, their sacral chakra is surrendered. It belongs to the darkness. This is someone who can't think straight because their brain is fogged with so much sex magic, as well as their heart and their spirit and their body. It's all they are. And they have to live like that every day. And they have to now live it not in the power that it supposedly had, the sex magic, but now they have to live it in the fact that being a supposed sex magician is actually an early grave energy. It's actually a trip to hell energy. Now they're afraid of their own choices and decisions. Because when they now have to live with this darkness, they don't think they can. Every day they're surprised at how they're able to endure and get by. But when they were doing the darkness, this was someone that was very willing and open to it. It was not something that they were against. So now, this fake high priestess has been targeting your life. The amount of time this person has thrown sex magic at you, it's unspeakable. How devoted and committed they are to doing it as well over the years. But they were targeting a true high priestess. They're a fake high priestess targeting a true high priestess. You triggered their backfire. You were the catalyst and the vessel to them being sent to where they came from. They planted those seeds of darkness. They need to go collect. Yeah, you taking them there. We have the Six of Swords to the Five of Swords. God sent you to be the one to stop this person in their tracks. You're the last person to ever endure pain from this person. You're the last person to ever be a victim of anything from this person. God sent you to finish it off, finish them off. God sent you to be the one to end it off clean and put this person in their place to the extent that every time they look in the mirror, they will reflect on their decisions and choices of darkness. Every day this person lives with deep, deep, deep burdens that weigh their heart down. They're overly just sensitive and overwhelmed and easily triggered because already they live with a weighed down heart. One which is literally already shattered in pieces. Because for them to tap into the darkness to begin with would mean that they didn't choose to heal, they chose to glorify the pain. And look at where the pain has led them. They thought, oh, sex magic's where the power's at, and I can take my power back because I've been through so much and I'm in pain. But instead of healing and being better, you choose to cause other people pain. So this person who's always been in pain caused other people pain, and now that same pain they caused to others is returning to them on top of the pain they already had. It's like this person doubled their karmic debt because they didn't cleanse by choosing to heal and do better, instead of turn into a villain and like harm and hurt, seek to destroy and steal and victimize, manipulate, play games. Like this person chose all of that. And now they're reflecting on you and them and what you were or what it could have been. It's like this is someone who's worried about the wrong things of life. They're focused on you when in actual reality they have to look at themselves. But they're focused on you because they know that it's because of you that they're receiving their karma. Because before they did what they did to you, when they were doing it to everyone else, they got away with it. And as soon as you came in the picture, things changed. As soon as they did it to you, that's when their darkness backfired. Because you are the catalyst, you are the vessel to that. Every day they can't stand to even hear and see and think and feel anything about spirituality because it's so heavy. Because when they see crystals, they don't see healing. They see, oh, I can use this to harm this and bind this to this one and like control this one's destiny and fate and steal this and send this to this one's dreams. And like this person, when they look at any herb, they don't see healing. They see their own darkness. When they look at anything that has to do with spirituality and anyone, they just see darkness. Karma has come to collect this person's due for their karma. But they will reverse to the Two of Cups. They can't escape themselves. Double on top of what they were already broken about. More brokenness. And now this person, they regret even wanting to be of darkness. They want to change their whole entire identity. But you awaken them to their darkness. You are the reason of that change that they want. You played a pivotal role in this person's life because when they did what they did to you, everything in their life fell apart. We have the Chariot reversed to the Wheel of Fortune reversed. It all started shifting as soon as they did what they did. When it came to you, it was just, you know what? It was over. High Priestess energy again, because you are the true High Priestess. They're a fake High Priestess who manipulates sacred energy for power. They took their own sacred chakra energy, their own womanhood, their own manhood. They took that and kept abusing people. And people continue to need healing, cleansing in their energy because of what this person was sending to people's energy. A lot of people had to heal from this person being in their life because all that they are of is darkness. This is someone who come into someone's life and already aim to dominate and betray that person and deceive and lie and trick that person and manipulate, whether with words or with their sex magic. But those are their power tools and weapons, words and sex magic. That's their forte, that's their niche, that's their power. That's where they're surrendered. That's where their sacred energy is bound. This person's sex magic is disgusting because it's filled with complete impurity. As they aimed to send that energy at you, hoping that you'll fall into it, whereby now you glorify them just by looking at them. You're already so taken by their presence as if they're this idol to you, because they bound their sacred energy in manipulation of the way you look at them. Because sex magic is not about just the penetration. It can be used as a weapon in multiple different ways. The sacred chakra energy can be weaponized. And this is what this karmic has been doing. This is definitely a karmic woman, a karmic man. Take it out applies for your reality. They're looking at you step further into your power, and all they see of themselves is nothingness. They can't believe what their life has become. They can't believe it. For a long time, this worked, and then it didn't. And they know it started with what they did to you, what they sent your way with this. If they stuck to their territory and do what you do, don't make it other people's problem. Because you'll find that one person that will send you to hell. And you are that one person for them, beloved. You're sending them to hell. This is over. The cycle is over. This karmic cycle is complete. Now they're living in that completion where something has fully backfired and they now have to live with it. This is literally this is over. No more nothing. Because at first it was this person telling themselves that, oh, there is power in this and I can rule everyone in my world. They were obsessed with being controlling of everyone. Everyone that crosses their path, they want to control and dominate that person. They have this alter ego that developed from their trauma. This alter ego is the childhood person, inner child energy that was so wounded and never healed. And now they have to live in their unhealed nature, coexist with that same inner child energy that they literally channel as their alter ego. It's like they fake it, but within themselves, it's the inner child that controls them. So if they have to pretend to be healed, they'll pretend to be healed, pretend to smile, pretend to care, pretend to love, pretend to want, to not want, to need, to not. If they have to be anything, they'll do it. But the truth of who they are is tied to their inner child, who always felt less than. And hence, that inner child abused their own sacred chakra and also abused other people's sacred chakra and then abused the sacred chakra energy within the universal laws of life. This person just kept using the sex magic and they used it for pure control and dominance, whether it's through penetration where they sleep with the person, male or female, woman on woman, man on man, however way, or they use their eyes to seduce. They use their body to seduce for control and dominance. Those are this person's tactics. And then also their words. They like to use their words to control the mind of the person on top of their supposed sex magic. But all of that is over now. And they're realizing that they've always just been delusional. When it worked, it was because they were literally surrendering their own energy to the universe. And the way they've surrendered it is in the way they chose to use that sacred energy. and how they chose to use it, because that's how they gave it to the world, they're going to receive it like that. So the same abuse is the one they're going to suffer. This is someone that's going to suffer for a very long time in their life. While you good, you healthy, you healing, you are transparent with yourself and understand who you are in your light, and you love you, and you doing you, because you made a different decision and choice when it comes to life. And that's what they hate you for. But like I said, that's over with. Who cares, right? This person, it's their own life. Yeah, this magician, right? We have the magician. They alchemized all their sacred energy and sent it out in darkness. Your most sacred energy, you want to send it to the world in darkness. And you want to surrender and say that's your power. And that very same thing turns on you. And now you're powerless, and you're back to being that same broken person that chose the darkness. This person, if they chose to heal and address the version of themselves that even wanted to do something like this, if they understand that, you know what, since it's over, where did it start? I need to figure out where it started and stop looking at another person's life. They should stop looking at you. This has nothing to do with you. You are the one that just made everything backfire, because you were the one that was meant to play that role. You are their karma. We have the Eight of Cups. Yeah, this person is on the way to their hell, purgatory, cleansing, facing their demons, awakening to who they are and the choices and decisions they made. And then maybe they'll want to do different. Oh, that's right, they do. They wish they could just completely just be of light and get rid of all this darkness, but it's not going to be that easy. Y'all, 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 y'all. What did someone do here? You know what? Because now karma is due for this person, it can't be undone. Something can't be undone once they were doing what they were doing, even to begin with, from the first person that they sent darkness to within sex magic, the sacred energy. From that first person that they spiritually attacked to the lost, which is you, they have to pay and take accountability. This person has to go way back and actually address everything they've done and the fact that it can't be undone. And they have to cleanse. Now, who knows how long that's going to take? Who knows if it's going to need them to make a certain sacrifice that they can't make because they have nothing to offer, because they've given themselves away to darkness in the way that they did. Because how I'm seeing this person to be is, this is definitely someone who's going to spend their whole entire life leeching, because they won't have anything to give or offer, because they've surrendered it, thinking, oh, this is where the power's at, until you're stripped of that and you're nothingness, and you have to depend on other people's energy to get by. this one has this resource, this one has that, this one does this one goes here. So if I like connecting yourself to all these people, not because of sincerity and genuineness of the truth of the connection, but because, oh, you are using them because you can't manifest. This person will never be able to manifest ever again. They lost that power because they're stripped of their own womanhood power, their own manhood power. You don't play with sacred chakra. You don't play with that energy. It will literally swallow you. I'm being called to, this is very symbolic here. This is very symbolic. I'm being called to end this message here. This was your message from God, Ra, Allah, Source, the Divine. I'm grateful for your time and I thank you so much for joining me on the Prophetic Vessel Show. To those whom are keen or interested in becoming members of my Patreon, on my Patreon, I do offer weekly sign readings based on love as well as ancestral lineage readings. I also offer personal readings for $50 per month. You get a personal reading from me every month based on love, spiritual path, career, and finances, as well as ancestral messages. I also now offer one-on-one sessions / life coach sessions. Those will be once off and not monthly. You can only book me for those directly via my email, which will be listed in my description box below, as well as the link to my Patreon. If you'd rather join my Patreon instead, you can also join my Patreon by typing what is on the screen via Google, search it, and it'll lead you to my Patreon website. I thank you all for everything, and I will see you all soon. Goodbye.